Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's call. My name is Ashley Frary, and I'm a Ruby Ambassador with Plexus. And I'm super excited to be sharing with your team tonight. Ashley asked me a couple weeks ago if I would just hop on and do, cover your weekly training for you guys. And of course, I was more than happy to do that. And when we were kind of trying to decide about what topic, I immediately knew that I wanted to share about mindset and just how important mindset is. So I don't know if that is a topic that you guys have visited much about. I know we tend to, in Plexus, always kind of look to receive training on like the skills and the mechanics of network marketing, like three-way chats and social media, making your Franks list, and all those things are super duper important for sure. And you should train yourself on those. But what I have found to be true for myself, what I've heard to be true for so many other people in Plexus is, those things are all good, but you have to begin to look inward, and you really have to address the issue and the topic of mindset, because those tools and those mechanics, those things are great, but they'll only get you so far. You have to put into practice the three-way chats and the Franks list and all of that. And so what sometimes happens is when we go to put those things into practice, we kind of come up against a barrier. And oftentimes that barrier is our mindset. So when I say mindset, basically what I'm talking about is, and here's just a little definition of it, a lens or a frame of mind which orients an individual to a particular set of expectations at any given moment. So mindset really is everything. It's kind of like the lens or the filter through which you perceive your world, really. It colors how you perceive your circumstances, your opportunities, how you perceive other people, how you perceive your success, your failures, your strengths, your shortcomings. Literally everything that we do is kind of filtered through our mindset. So it really is super important, not just in life. I mean, of course, certainly in life, but also in Plexus. And I can say this from experience, and some of you might be on this call, have felt like maybe you've reached a point in your business where you're a little stuck, or you were stuck before, and or you will get stuck in the future. I mean, it will happen again, even if it's already happened to you once. And so when we hit those plateaus, I think we begin to ask ourselves, like, what is the deal? What is holding me back? Why can I not move forward to reach my goal? What is keeping me from moving forward? And so the deal is that a lot of people try to answer that question with the wrong answer. So here are the wrong answers. Here is what is not holding you back. So if you ask, what's holding me back? And you say, and here's the wrong answers. It's not that you're with the wrong company. That's not what's holding you back. It's not that network marketing doesn't work, or that it only works for some people. That's not the answer. It's not that the products are too expensive. It's not that our compensation plan is a joke. It's not that your team isn't doing what you're telling them to do. All of those things are not the answer. Oftentimes, what is holding you back is your belief and a self-defeating mindset and fear. A lot of times fear comes into play for a lot of us. I think we have all dealt with, or are maybe dealing with, a fear of failure, like doing this and not succeeding, a fear of rejection from our friends. What will they think? A fear of judgment. But also some people have a fear of success, and that might seem kind of weird, but a lot of people do. A lot of people have a fear of success, and it's kind of just, anything that's new or unfamiliar to you is going to bring some level of anxiety and fear, and that's completely normal. But what you've got to do is really address those fears and really kind of work to break through them and move past them so that they don't hold you back. So here, and this is just kind of maybe a silly example, but here's kind of an example of how two different mindsets can kind of get you, in the same place, but from a very different way. So like, let's take for tonight, for example. And Ashley asked me, 2 weeks ago, will you share with my team? Of course I said yes. We picked a date. And, I did that knowing that August is kind of a crazy month for me. I mean, I go back to school. I started back to school this week with my traditional job, trying to get Lucy back on the school schedule, just a lot of changes happening this month. So one of my mindsets could have been the negative mindset, where I could have said to myself, okay, will you do the call? Yes, I'll do the call. I put it on my planner. And for 2 weeks leading up, I'm like telling myself, I'm so stressed out. I cannot believe, I have so much on my plate. And here I go again, saying yes to yet another thing. When am I going to find the time to prepare for this call? What am I going to talk about? What if I choose a topic and they think it's a stupid topic? Or what if whatever it is I say, they've already heard it before? What if nobody gets on? Now I have to do a Zoom call and I have to be presentable and, figure out who's going to put the kids to bed and, all this stuff. So I'm stressing and I'm fretting, and I'm doing that for 2 weeks leading up to it. Okay. Or I could take this mindset, this approach, where I say, I can't wait to get on this call and share something that I'm passionate about. I have found this topic to really help me in so many areas of my life, and I'm really excited to share what I know with other people. And I believe there will be at least one person on this call who will take at least one little something that I say and be able to apply it to their life. This is a busy month for me, but I'm able to schedule my time wisely, and I will schedule a time to prepare for this call. I will be confident when I share. I will know what I'm going to say. I will be enthusiastic. I'm looking forward to this. So those are two kind of different mindsets. And, regardless, I'm going to get to the same place of doing this Zoom call, but I'm going to get there very differently in my mind. And one thing I'll say is, that negative mindset, we do that a lot. That I'm so stressed out, I'm so this, I'm so that, what if? And we do that a lot, even just in our day-to-day interactions with other people about Plexus. And so when you come from a place of that self-doubt and self-defeating attitude, it comes across when you talk to people. People pick up on that. Because you guys probably could. I mean, if I came to this call feeling very negative and stressed, you as, the participant or the listener, you would feel that vibe. You would get that vibe from me that I just wasn't really looking forward to this and I wasn't excited about it. So, and the other thing too with that negative mindset is that you can kind of pump yourself up 5 minutes before the call. I could have just said, you know what, we're going to go in there, we're going to do it. I'm going to do a great job. I'm going to be enthusiastic. And, I could have pulled it off. What happens when we do that, if I would have taken that route, is those whole 2 weeks, I robbed myself of the opportunity to really find joy in the process of preparing for this. And I robbed myself of, taking the time to really stretch myself and learn from, the last 2 weeks as I prepared to do something new. And we know, a huge part of this Plexus deal is learning how to love and enjoy the journey that you're on. And I know you guys, probably most of you have heard them say or heard it be said that network marketing is just self-development with a compensation plan. And that is so true. I mean, you have to start working on your own personal self-development from the beginning. And really, I would challenge you to, if you don't have a plan for self-growth and self-development, get one in place and start doing it now. And as people join you and you bring people on to your team, get them going as quickly as possible in the area of self-development. Here is a really good quote. And I want you, if you're not taking notes, that's fine. But this is one worth writing down. It's, your level of success will rarely exceed your level of personal development, because success is something you attract by the person you become. And I love that. I really let that set in, because that, to me, those words have a lot of power to really change a lot of maybe negative patterns and mindset and self-belief that you have going on. So your level of personal development has to be kind of paving the way for your level of success. Success is something you attract by becoming that person, becoming the best version of you. And it's kind of similar to that idea of creating a goal so big that you have to grow into the person who's capable of achieving it. So, ask yourself that, really kind of look at that. Are you actively trying to develop yourself into becoming the best version of you, the person that you need to be to create and attain your goals and the things that you want out of life, of course, but also plexus, just kind of bringing it back since we are talking about plexus, and the goals that you want. Are you working in that direction to become that kind of person who's able to attract that and to maintain that? So, all of us, I would say, like if I asked you, what level of success do you want in your life? I think we would all say, I want to be a level 10 success story, like with my health, my happiness, my relationships, my spirituality, my career. Like I want to be as successful as possible. But the problem is that a lot of times our level of self-development is more like a 5 or a 6. And that mindset and belief and attitude, that's all part of that self-development. So it's really important to kind of start looking at what's going on internally so that it matches up with what's going on outwardly. So a good place to start, if you don't have any self-help books, and a lot of the information that I'm going to share tonight comes from this book. It's What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. Do you guys see that? Yeah. It's super cheap. Like go to Amazon right now and just buy it because it's kind of old. So you can get it pretty cheap, but it's super good. And then this is another good one. It's called The Miracle Morning. And this is really about kind of creating, he goes through these 6 different practices that it's all about doing these things first thing in the morning and really setting up your day to be in line with where you want to go as a person and with your goals. So it's really good. And then the other one is Switch on Your Brain. I have not read that one yet. It's on my list, but it's also really good. And they all deal with mindset. And so here's kind of a kind of crazy to me statistic is 80% of us walk around throughout the day with self-deprecating thoughts about ourselves. And this could be like our body image, our job performance, what other people are thinking of us, how they're judging us, 80% of us. So there's a really great chance you have some self-defeating, self-deprecating thoughts going on because 80% is a pretty big chunk. And so you have to raise your level of awareness for yourself. And you really have to know yourself and know what you're telling yourself. And we're going to get into that in just a minute. But without that level of awareness, what happens is that mindset, that self-talk continues to play over and over and over. And we get stuck in this negative feedback loop. So we have to really spend some time identifying what the voice is. That's like what the voice that's talking to us in our head, what is it saying? And where does it come from? Is it our voice or is it coming from the voice of others? Okay, one other little thing that I want to say is that, mindset, it is important for you personally, but it's going to become even more important as you try to move forward in Plexus and as you try to develop and grow a team. So, and I know that everybody on this call wants to develop and grow a team. I mean, that's why you're on this call. So it really is even more important for you because you can't lead somebody a place that you have not gone yourself. And I don't mean a rank. I just mean within personal development. You can't take them to a place that you yourself haven't already gone in your head. So here's some questions, and you don't have to answer these out loud, but just like think about what your knee-jerk reaction is and answer is to these questions. Do you see yourself as being successful with Plexus? Can you see success for yourself in Plexus, honestly? Do you believe you are capable of doing this, whatever this is for you? If this means gold, if this means quitting your job, if this means ruby, senior ruby, emerald, diamond, do you think you're capable of that? Do you believe that you can be great, like really, really great, really, really awesome at this? Okay, so you respond in your head, you had some answers to that question. So here's the thing. If any part of you hesitated to answer that question with anything but like a yes, like in all caps, yes, I will be great. I can be great at this. I am capable of this. Then, there are some things that you've got some self-defeating thoughts happening if you hesitated or if it was a little bit hard to answer some of those questions. So if that was the case for you, it's going to be a challenge for you to motivate people on your team to believing that they have what it takes, that they are capable, that they can be successful, that they can and will be great at this. If you can't believe it for yourself, you can't give that belief to somebody else. Does that make sense? It's like that saying, you can't give away what you don't possess. So if you don't possess self-belief, it's really a challenge to try to instill that and inspire that in somebody else. And again, just another way to say it is that, you can't fan that fire of self-belief in anybody before you've got a flame burning in yourself. Like that, your flame has to happen in yourself first before you can inspire other people. So, not only is self-growth and development great and important for you, but here's kind of, to me, where it gets exciting. And I kind of get goosebumps when I think about it. Like if you step back a little bit and you think, okay, if I decide, myself, I'm going to commit to becoming the best version of myself. I believe there is greatness inside of every single person on this planet, like living person. There is greatness. The problem is we have a hard time identifying it and speaking about it and like claiming it as ours and feeling like it's not being conceited or whatever. So the cool thing though is if you commit to that, like I want to commit to unleashing that greatness that's inside of me. When you do that, you inspire other people to do the same. You are able to then help somebody else find that greatness inside of them, develop it, and like share it with other people. And so to me, that's kind of like the bigger, we talk a lot about what is your why with Plexus. And I'm sure that we all have probably some similar ones, maybe some different ones. But for me, a big why for me is that exact thing, is to really learn how to be so self-aware and in tune with myself and committed to self-development that I unleash my greatness and allow and help, encourage other people to do the same thing. And I'm going to read this quote, and I've got my eye on the clock. I'm trying to kind of like speed through some of this, but I posted this the other day. I just want to read it because I think it's really good. But it says, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So I just love that. So I think kind of keep that in the back of your mind, that you're investing in your mindset and you're doing this process, not just for yourself, but for all the other people that might and will benefit from you making that commitment and that decision to do that. So, okay, this is a cool little thing that I have learned just since reading and kind of studying up on all this stuff is the brain. So let's talk about like programming and how that mindset starts and gets in our brain. So how does our brain get programmed? Well, our brain, we have our conscious brain and our subconscious brain. So the conscious brain, those are like the things that we are actively, cognitively aware of, the thoughts and feelings and attitudes that we have. The deal is that our subconscious mind, that's happening under the surface that we're not aware of, but it's like the driver behind the wheel of our brain. It's our computer, and it's kind of stupid in the sense that it's kind of dumb because it does not know the difference between real, like reality, and falsehood or fake. Whatever you tell your subconscious, it thinks it's real. So it's not able to decipher. So it's a lot like a computer, like as you sit down to type something into a computer, your computer doesn't know if what you're typing is a lie or is the truth. It just absorbs what you have to say and it outputs it. It doesn't say, whoa, stop, can't write that. That's a lie. That's not true. It doesn't know. It just takes it and outputs it for you. And so your brain, your subconscious, is a lot like this. you've got you're inputting these things a lot of times on a level that you're not aware of, a subconscious level, and you're playing it over and over and again. And so just like when you have a Word document on your computer, you can recall that document as many times as you want. The more you do it, the easier it gets, the quicker you can find that document on your computer. And it's the same with these thought processes. The more we do it, the more it becomes our instinct and the way we've always been, the way we've always thought. And it's that pathway that is used the most. So it feels most natural. It feels really comfortable. But we don't choose the dialogue unless we make a conscious decision to bring that dialogue like to the surface and to kind of become more aware of it. So the problem is that, very few of us will take responsibility for thinking we are in control of our attitudes and our thoughts. And it does take discipline and it does take commitment. And we know, it takes like at a minimum 21 days to create a new habit. So just think about that. Like it's going to take me at a minimum 21 days to start to make a habit of changing my mindset. So I want to talk to you guys about one habit tonight, because there's a lot of things. I mean, you can kind of get into this and read about mindset. And, there's a lot of different things out there that you will hear, cultivating an attitude of gratitude and being thankful. That's very important. And that's a skill for sure. Focusing on your why, focusing on your vision. That's another really great tool. But I want to talk about one of the tools that you can use to reprogram your computer. And that is the tool of self-talk, positive affirmations, positive self-talk. So I'm going to define, and this is a definition out of the book that I showed you. But positive self-talk is a specific set of concisely worded directions. And usually it's going to be about a dozen or so like phrases, kind of all clumped together, that paint a detailed picture of the better you, which you would like to become, or the change in your life that you want to create. Okay. And there's a reason I think it's important to start with self-talk. And this is like programming out of this book. It says that there's 5 steps to programming. And programming creates your beliefs create your attitudes create your feelings determine your action, and your action creates your results. So the end result is results. And our goals, I mean, that would be the result. Our result that we want are to achieve our goals. But if you backtrack results all the way down that chain, it all starts with programming. So that is why I think self-talk is the place to start. At least for me, it has been. Here's another little quote. I just popped some quotes in here, but because I like quotes. But this one says, and this is Muhammad Ali, "It is the repetition of affirmations that leads to belief. Once that belief becomes a deep conviction, things begin to happen." And that's true. Like we just said, that's the affirmations, the programming leads to attitude. And once you begin to believe those attitudes, action and results start to happen. Another one, okay, this is from Proverbs in the Bible. "Life and death are in the power of the tongue." Okay, the things we say out loud internally can bring us life or can bring us death. So it's really, really important, I think, to start here. Okay, so I'll skip through some of this. This is just kind of repeating, but okay, I like this. What you think about, you bring about. So if you're telling yourself, "I'm incapable of this, of doing Plexus, of making my next promotion," so guess what? You are incapable of it. It's not going to happen for you. If you say, "I have the slowest growing team in Plexus," guess what? You do. If you say, "Nobody wants to join me," guess what? They don't. "No one wants to order from me," guess what? They won't. I mean, whatever you tell yourself, you're putting it out there, and you're bringing it about. Whatever you're dwelling on and thinking on, you're bringing it about. So instead of that, we're gonna talk about 3 little steps to design and create and write out affirmations that are more in line with your goals, with where you want to be. And the key is to repeat these affirmations daily. Out loud is actually like the best thing. So yes, I'm asking you, I'm talking about writing affirmations, having them and reading them out loud to yourself. daily, like 21 days, so that you can make this become a habit and you can start to reprogram all that negative junk that's going on. Because remember, your mind is that computer. It's your subconscious mind that it doesn't know the difference. So whatever you tell it, it's going to start believing it. And if you start feeding it these affirmations that are in line with who you want to be and where you want to go, it's going to start to go to work for you to kind of create some of those new pathways and to transform how you're thinking and feeling, and overcoming, setbacks and challenges and that kind of thing. So how do we create positive affirmations? The first thing that you have to do is you have to identify your fears or your self-limiting beliefs, okay? And so sometimes that can be the hardest thing to do, but you really have to raise your level of awareness to what's going on in your brain, what is going on when you speak. And then ask yourself, do the words that you say, the words that you're saying to yourself, do they paint the picture for your subconscious that you want it to be hearing? And if not, then those are some of the beliefs and the fears that you need to start rephrasing, and you need to create a positive affirmation that's in direct opposition of that. And nobody else can really do this for you. I mean, you have to dig deep and figure out what those fears are. And that's why I like this book. That's why Switch on Your Brain is really good. It's going to go through and kind of work through some of those things that might be going on. And we talked a little bit about those fears: failure, success, rejection, all of that. So that's step one, is identifying the beliefs and bringing them to your awareness level, not your subconscious, but bringing them to more of an awareness level. And then you have to replace the fear with an opposing statement. Okay. And that would be the self-affirmation. And so here's the thing about self-affirmations is you have to word them in a positive. So in your self-affirmations, you're not going to use the word not. Okay. So you're not going to say, I am not worthless. Okay. That is not a good affirmation. You instead will say, I am worthy. So don't put the word not in the affirmation. Claim it as though it's already happened. And that's kind of the next one, is to state your goal or the result you want, whatever it is. State it in the present tense as though it's like happening now. So don't say things like, I will be worthy. I will be confident. No, I am worthy. I am confident. State it in the present tense. Yes. Okay. And then the last one is to be specific. So don't leave any stone unturned. Like once you identify that fear, that belief, I'll look at it from every angle and add a self-talk phrase or statement to kind of cover all of those angles and include every aspect of that, so that you're kind of painting a picture for what it will look like and feel like when you are exhibiting that strength or that quality that you want, to improve upon. So you can do these, you can write these affirmations for your fears or for your weaknesses. And there's lots of websites. I mean, you can Google, there's in this Miracle Morning book, he has a website that has a lot of positive affirmations that you can borrow if you don't know where to start. This book has a lot of them too. I've used a lot of this ones out of this book. But so here, I'll just give you a quick little example. Let's use the limiting belief of okay, here would be the belief. If I'm saying to myself, and I'm talking plexus, okay, I know what my goal is. I know what I need to do. I know the steps I need to take to get there, but I just don't have the time. I'm so busy every day. And I get home and that's the last thing I want to do. I worked all day. I deserve to rest. I deserve to sit on the couch and watch my favorite TV show, and then the next day happens. I just can't seem to get myself up and going. I just can't seem to get motivated. I know what I want, but it's gosh, I'm just stuck, okay. That's a very limiting belief. So the problems that we need to counteract with that are not setting your priorities to be in alignment with your goals, making excuses, wasting time, starting something but not finishing it, lack of commitment. So that's the problem. That's the limiting belief part. So your self-talk statements could sound like this: I can do anything I believe I can do. I set goals and I reach them. I know what I want out of life and I go after it and I get it. Nothing can stop me. I have determination, and if I face a problem, I turn it into an advantage. I meet challenges head on, especially today. I see what needs to be done, and I do it because I have a clear picture in my mind of what I want and where I'm going. I know that it's all up to me, but I know that I can do it. And I never give excuses for myself. I get things done on time and the right way. And I have the inner strength to do what needs to be done today more than ever. Okay, so see how, and I know that might feel like cheesy, to say that, but you're reprogramming and you're saying things. I mean, you can, even when you say it, you kind of start to feel powerful, saying it. Another one, this is a quick one, but I'm afraid to speak in front of people. I don't like doing Zoom calls for my team, or I'm afraid that what I have to say isn't important. Instead saying, I look forward to speaking in front of people. I enjoy leading my team in this way. People love to hear what I have to say. They are drawn to me when I speak, and when I speak, I am bold and I am confident. Okay, that's it. It's as simple as that. Okay, so the third step, we've got identify the fear or the belief, and then number 2 is to create an opposing self-talk statement that's more in line with your goals and not in line with those self-limiting beliefs. And then the third thing is repeat, 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 repeat. So you have to form a new pathway. You have to reprogram that computer. And one of the things I love, and I had listened to Sonia Dudley did I had listened to one of her calls she did, and she uses, it's a free app on your phone, and it's called Repeat It Again. And let me see here. I'll pull it up if I can. What's cool about this app is you can record up to, I want to say, yes, 9 different 2-minute clips. Okay. And it looks like this, like the main screen. Can you guys see that? Yeah. Okay. The main screen has these 9 buttons. Okay. And you can record up to a 2-minute thing in each button, and you can play each button up to 20 times. So what's cool, what I have done, I've only used like 5 buttons, but I like button 1 might be like leadership affirmations. And then button 2 is like, one of my things is I start projects and I don't finish them. So I have an affirmation for that. Number 3 might be, self-confidence. And so you can, as you're working out, as you're driving to work, as you're doing the dishes, folding the laundry, you can put your headphones in, go to your app, and you can just listen to positive affirmations over and over and over again. And one of the things that Sonia had said is that, because she's a big believer in mindset, that is like her, she will preach on that forever. She actually does like Saturday trainings. She travels around and does trainings on it. But she said for a whole year, she committed to this, and she actually would go to sleep at night with headphones on, playing affirmations. And some of it would be like her own voice. And then she bought like some discs or whatever. And she said that year was her most successful year she's ever had in a network marketing business. Like everything. And she's done she has been in network marketing for years, not just Plexus, but like prior to. And she said everything that year doubled for her, like her customer base, her income, she got a car. I mean, so it's really, really powerful. And so that's why I said, so I've started doing this, and I do it on the way to work, and just trying to kind of create that habit and create a new way of thinking about myself. And it's really interesting. I mean, as you kind of get into it, it's interesting some of the things that you're like, I didn't know. Like for example, for me is I used to say, and I'm working on it all the time out loud, I'm so stressed out. That's like was my catchphrase. I mean, even Nick was like, if I had a quarter for every time he said that, we would be rich. And it's true. So I was saying it so much out loud. Think how much I was saying it inside. And so what was I all the time? Frantically stressed out. Like I could not stay on top of things. And so I created that reality for myself. So anyway, so that kind of is the third step in that self-affirmation thing. So kind of just, and I know that was kind of quick and probably felt like really all over the place. But there's so many good things when it comes to mindset, but really it's just kind of exploring this side of Plexus if you haven't already, because we've all worked other jobs, working other jobs. I've never, in any other job, been in a position where, not that I'm forced to do mindset, but like encouraged for one thing, but where mindset is such an important component. I mean, I think it's important for everything, but like, I haven't been on this self-growth journey, prior to Plexus. And so I think it's one of those like unexpected perks for me anyway, with Plexus. And it's super important to begin kind of reconditioning your thoughts so that they're in line with your vision. And that's, we talk about your why with Plexus. That's why it's so important, because you need your why. You need your internal thoughts to really line up with your why and to connect and to really help you to never lose sight of that vision, and to not get discouraged by problems when they come, because they will come. So anyway, that's kind of the homework I wanted to leave you guys with, is just to kind of, for one, get a book if you don't already have one, and then try to go to work at like really identifying some limited beliefs. And even if it feels cheesy, to do the self-affirmations, like I know we always think about that Saturday Night Live skit, like, yeah, doggone it, people like me. And it's probably because, I have a background in counseling, so I really love this kind of stuff. I like it, the psychology of it all. But the more you do it, it will feel less awkward. And it really is empowering. I found a lot of empowerment for myself personally in just some different areas. And I know some of you guys on this call, I mean, I'm not going to call you out or anything, but I know some of you that are on the same, you've done that, and you're kind of identifying some fears and things, and you're overcoming it. And so it's really important, I think, and really powerful. But that's all that I had prepared. Ash, do you have anything that you want to add to that, or anybody have any questions or anything? You are muted. If you do have a question, just you'll have to click your little microphone on the left side of your big Zoom screen.
I made an affirmation while you were talking.
Oh, Jessica and I are going to Leaders Retreat, Plexus Power System. I love it. Yes.
Going on my mirror.
Make 1,000 of those and just put them up everywhere.
Okay.
I love it.
I would be the first to say that this past year was probably the first year that I identified that I definitely have a fear of success. It's not a fear of failure, it's fear of success, because I don't know what to do with it. I like being kind of in the middle and not being seen, just kind of being in the background. So I'm afraid that would push me to the front, and I would have to step out of my comfort zone.
Things that are new and different and scary. Yes. Yeah. And that's the thing is, that's normal to feel that way. Anything that you've never done before, I mean, you've been successful at a lot of things in your life. I've known you for forever, but the things, being in front of people or speaking, or knowing that if I do this, I have to do A, B, C, D to get to this, is scary. And you do have to push yourself. And so I think that's why you just have to start to see yourself different, in the fact of, I like to push myself outside of my comfort zone, because it teaches me more and more about myself every time I do it. And you realize how capable and awesome, you are, and how capable you can be at it. So I think that's a big one. It's a big one for a lot of people, and people, it's easy for us to think about the fear of failure. But the fear of success is a big one, Ash, for a lot of people. Jessica's responding yes to your positive affirmation, Tiffany. She typed a message.
What was that quote that you said in the beginning, Ashley, about your level of success?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I'll find it, so I'll read it just the exact. I love that. Let's see here.
Or you could just like.
Okay, it's this. I'll tell you. I won't be able to. Okay, it's your level of success will rarely exceed your level of personal development, because success is something you attract by the person that you become. And it goes along with that. Like I've seen that other quote, you know, set a goal so big that you have to grow into the person who's capable of achieving it. So, but I think that that's true. You know, our success has to, our level of personal development has to precede our success level. You know, we have to, that's why people will say, treat yourself as though you're already a fill in the blank, diamond, jewel, or, you know, emerald, ruby, whatever rank you want. Act as though you already are, you know, become that leader who is a diamond, and then let the rank follow you there. Don't wait till you reach that, you know, goal to start developing yourself. And at every rank, I mean, at every level in Plexus, it requires a little bit more of you, a little bit of a different something. So that self-development never stops. You know, I mean, we never stop. We should never stop, I guess I should say, evaluating that and making sure that we are pushing ourselves and trying to overcome some of those self-defeating thinking that we have. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. We can take some other questions if we have any, but I'll just stop it. And thanks you guys for hopping on. I appreciate it.